The Way of the Superior Man. This book will teach us how to become a Sigma, Ligma, Nigma, Patrick Bateman, Spider-Man, Alpha, Grindset male, okay? This is a book about spirituality within sexuality.
Hang up that computer.
It explains masculine, feminine dynamics in a spiritual way. It explains how to live as a man and make decisions as a man, and how to understand and handle feminine behavior. First, I gotta say, this book is 8 chapters and 7 of them are just about women. So it's not really The Way of the Superior Man, it should really be called How to Deal with Women. So this is not relatable at all because I get no bitches. Nevertheless, it is a book that speaks the truth in a provocative way. The first chapter is actually my favorite one, because it explains how to make your decisions, how to live your life as a man. There is basic stuff in there like find your passion, find your purpose, stop hoping for life to get easier, know your edge, and don't fake it. By edgy means your fear, basically, and you should be decisive and true to yourself and don't make excuses. For example, here he says, honor your edge, honor your choices, be honest with yourself about them, be honest with your friends about them. A fearful man who knows he is fearful is far more trustable than a fearful man who isn't aware of his fear. A fearful man who still leans into his fear, living at his edge and putting his gift from out there, is more trustworthy and inspirational than a fearful man who hangs back in the comfort zone. So that's deep as fuck. So the next chapter is literally called Dealing with Women. It basically explains basic feminine psychology, why women sometimes behave the way they do and in ways that are not clearly understandable to men. Next chapter is called Working with Polarity and Energy. Basically explains how every man is horny as fuck and how you cannot escape it. And you should choose the right women. Also, there's literally a chapter called Young Women Offer You a Special Energy. So that's kinda sus. I don't know how old this guy is, but the next chapter is called What Women Really Want. It explains how you should less analyze what she's saying and realize that she says certain things because she feels a certain way. He says her complaint is content free, so it means you should pay less attention to what your woman is saying and instead to how she's feeling and why she's feeling that way. Also he says what she wants is not what she says. Chapter 5 is called Your Dark Side. Basically explains how if you don't own your dark desires, they will own you. So you have to act out your desire for dominance in a loving way, because if you don't, it's gonna result in you indulging in bad habits, including violent pornography. He says the following: when you are unable to express your dark passions with love, then they go underground in your psyche. Your dark desires become disconnected from your heart. Instead of being moved to embrace your woman with masculine force and aggressive passion, you begin to fantasize about controlling and dominating women in unloving ways. Next chapter is called Feminine Attractiveness. Basically it explains feminine attractiveness and that it's more than just lust, and that you should feel more than just lust when interacting with women. Next chapter is called Body Practices. Basically teaches you how to hold back your cum.
Stare at his nutsack while I hold back my cum tonight.
The last chapter is called Men and Women's Yoga of Intimacy. So this last chapter is basically a summary of the book. So I can actually read you the end of the book. Dude, pages are stuck. So the last chapter is literally just one paragraph and it's a good summary of the book. So here it says, like dissolving in the intensity of an orgasm, a man's greatest desire is to be utterly released. So the key takeaway from this book is that as a man you have a desire to dominate, to be free, but you need to do so in a loving way, because if you don't, then it's bad, okay? So, my opinion, okay? So I think he talked too much about women and feminine psychology in this book, because after all I expected a book more like the first chapter, A Man's Way. Chapter 1 was the one I liked the most. And the Dark Desires chapter was good too. So I wish he talked more about masturbation and pornography, as this is something that matters to most men in today's world, because most men are probably porn addicts, right? Do I recommend this book? Yes, especially if you want to learn stuff about relationships. So I'm pretty sure this could fix some broken marriages. It's definitely a good introduction to the concept of masculine and feminine polarity, and maybe it's a little bit overrated, because like guys like Hamza will hype this up so much. No question, it's a great book, you can learn a lot from it, and I did learn a lot from it. So let me know in the comments if I forgot anything, okay? And also share this video with Leonard Plays, okay? And your friends, okay? If you have any. Which is unlikely as you watch Leonard Plays, okay? But anyway, so this was the video, yeah. So, suck my balls, okay?